Thank you for calling me back. The biggest thing you could help me with right now is just to acknowledge that you got the report that I submitted to the state police.
What was this on, Heidi?
I'm sorry, what do you mean, what was it on?
What, is this, you have to fill me in, because I'm not familiar with how long ago was this complaint filed?
Oh, okay. Well, I submitted the report, I want to say it was Thursday? Could have been Wednesday. It was just last week that I submitted the report to the state police. And they told me that they are not police, they're patrol, and that they would have to refer it to the specific jurisdiction, which was yours, Eau Claire County. Okay?
Is Captain Rosina been trying to get in touch with you?
Nobody's been trying to get in touch with me.
Just tell me quickly, where did this incident happen?
It happened in Eau Claire. It was in the Country Kitchen parking lot off of Claremont Avenue.
Okay. I'm sorry to sound ignorant, but I haven't heard anything about the incident.
No, that's fine. As I said, I was just following up to see if the support was submitted, or the report was submitted, and something was being done about it. That's what I've been trying to do for the last few business days. Anyway, it's.
Did you have a negative contact with a trooper or one of our deputies?
No, I had a negative contact with one of your correction officers that night.
That night?
Yeah.
And that was in our jail, or?
Yeah. It was a long time ago. I'm surprised you would have no knowledge of it. Actually, I'm amazed at the way that everybody buries everything that I say. Every report that I submit, it gets buried.
What really happens, Heidi, is once a complaint's filed and we get a written report, then the captain starts the investigation within to find out, because every one of our, at this point, they have the right to seek union assistance if they need and so forth. So what we do is, like an interrogation, we'll bring the person in and we'll talk to them about the particular incident.
Yeah.
Can you just superficially tell me what happened, so when I talk to the jail captain this afternoon when I see him, that I can follow up to say, I just got a phone call from this lady and she's concerned that we're not following up, and that's not what we do around here. Right.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a synopsis and I'll try to make it real brief, okay?
Okay.
I was pulled over and I was sexually assaulted by an Altoona police officer. I was then tased by another Altoona police officer for no reason. I was cuffed behind my back and I had no weapons. I wasn't trying to flee, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, point where it comes into play with your people was I was brought into the jail hogtied, basically. I was still cuffed behind my back. I had my legs zip tied together, and one of your corrections officers pepper sprayed me in the face for no reason, basically just to torture me. I don't believe that she actually continued employment there much longer after that, because I got sent to jail for this several months later, and she wasn't there. But
do you remember what the correctional officer's name was?
I don't. She was.
Can you kind of describe her, what she looked
She
like?
was brunette. She was pretty. She was brunette. From what I heard from the other inmates, she was having some kind of a relationship with an inmate and was fired because of that. I don't know that though. I
Now,
have.
this whole incident, how long ago did this incident happen? Because the gal that you're describing probably has been gone 2 years.
6 years.
Okay.
Well, she was probably gone. She was probably gone 2 years because it took 2 years after my arrest for me to be coerced into the plea agreement that I was forced into.
The only concern, Heidi, that I have, you know, how soon after the incident did you file a complaint?
As soon as I got out of jail, I went to Sacred Heart Hospital and made a complaint. I tried to give a report to Officer Kyle Roeder of the Eau Claire Police, and Sergeant Travis Coella interrupted and told me I could not report it to them, that I would have to report it to Commissioner Todd Cheney, which I did, and Todd Cheney ignored me for 6 years. I actually just tried calling his office a month ago and found out there's a new commissioner who is...
Yeah, he's no longer there. He's
I know that now.
Moved on. So, you know, hopefully the new chief over there would take a look at, you know, have you talked to the new chief yet?
Yeah, I talked to the new chief, and at first, when I first talked to him, he told me they were going to be installing video cameras and recording devices to make sure that this kind of thing didn't happen again. But my husband then called him a couple weeks later, you know, to kind of follow up, and we had other requests, you know, and demands. Basically, I want Jesse James fired. I want Steve Volk fired for what they did to me. You know, this correction officer is already dismissed. But you know, eventually, I'm probably going to want to sue. You know, I mean, for the brutality that I experienced at the hands of all these.
Let me tell you, Heidi, that you probably lost your window of opportunity to sue.
Well, you know, I didn't lose my opportunity to have them charged criminally, because what they did to me had criminal and malicious intent. And I've called the Library of Congress of the United States of America and in D.C., and they basically told me there's 7 years. Because of what they did to me, there's 7 years. So I haven't lost my window of opportunity. But let's not argue that. Let's not argue that. My point being is that my husband tried calling this guy, this new commissioner, James Small, and he screwed the pooch now, because he sat there and tried to explain to my husband how I was drunk and I was delusional and whatever else, and it's all ridiculous. Based on the facts, it's ridiculous. What happened to me happened. And these cops all did what they did. This should be a matter of public record. You know, they tased me. They tased me while my hands were cuffed behind my back. I wasn't running away from anything. I was pepper sprayed with my hands cuffed behind my back with my legs zip tied together. That's torture. You know, you guys have treated me horribly. I'm an American citizen, and you guys have treated me worse than any terrorist, and I didn't do anything.
Well, Heidi, there must have been something going on that you, number one, got yourself arrested.
Oh, really? Really? Is that how it goes? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Because we have policy, so does Altoona, related to when you use pepper spray, when you use the taser. There's a continuum, a standard continuum in Wisconsin in the use of force.
Sure, there should be.